The Surron has been the king of electric dirt bikes for years. But what if I told you there are electric bikes under $3,000 that can actually beat it in a race? Find out in this video as we explore the top 5 contenders. Number 5 Taria Stinger MXV. Kicking off the list at number 5 is the Taria Stinger MXV, and listen, this isn't your typical Surron clone. This thing is more like a battle-hardened cousin that went to the gym, ditched the cheap plastic, and came back with muscle. Right off the bat, the build is tighter than a stock Surron. The one-piece forged frame just feels more rigid. There's less flex, less noise. If you've ever jumped a Surron and heard that metallic clank, you'll appreciate the Taria. Stock top speed? Around 47 to 50 mph, depending on tire size and your controller settings. But here's the kicker, the torque delivery is smoother and more usable. You don't get that sudden, twitchy on-off throttle feeling that Surron sometimes throws at you. It runs a 60V 45Ah LG battery, so not only do you get better heat resistance, but you'll also squeeze out a solid 40 to 50 miles on trails with moderate riding. That's impressive range without needing an upgrade. And it uses MX-style regen braking, which helps stretch it further. So why is it number 5 and not higher? Simple weight and agility. At around 150 plus lbs, it's heavier than the Surron Light B, so it's not quite as flickable. But if you're into jumping, trail riding, or you just want less maintenance and a stronger feel, this thing's a tank in a good way. So yeah, it's cheaper, better built, and gives you that big bike feel without breaking the $3,000 barrier. If you ride hard and hate tweaking settings every week, this could be your new favorite underdog. Drop A in the comments if you think Taria is Motor and Surron. Number 4 eRide Pro Mini at number 4. We've got something that looks like a toy but rides like a weapon, the eRide Pro Mini. Don't sleep on this bike. It might be called Mini, but it'll smoke a stock Surron off the line. No cap. We're talking 60 miles per hour. No controller swap, let me say that again, 60. That's faster than a stock Surron Light B, faster than a modded one in some cases, and you're still under the $2,800 mark. Show me another bike with those numbers at this price. What makes the Mini so fast is the power-to-weight magic. At just under 110 pounds, paired with a 5,001 plus peak motor, the torque delivery is insane. You twist the throttle, it doesn't pull, it jumps. Honestly, this is the closest I've come to the feeling of a 2-stroke dirt bike in an electric frame. This is not a chill commuter bike. It's twitchy, it's sharp, it wants to wheelie, you take it on trails, BMX tracks, or urban stunts, it just wants to play. And because it's lower to the ground, it's more manageable if you're not 6'2". Now here's the surprise. The frame's legit. Aluminum alloy with beefy welds, front and rear suspension that actually soaks up landings, and decent hydraulic brakes. It's not cheap feeling like a generic Amazon moto. You're getting a 60V 30Ah battery. That's good for 25-35 miles, depending on how hard you're hammering it. Ride it like a banshee, and expect 20 plus. Chill trail session? You might stretch 40. It's fair for the power it pushes, so who's this bike really for? If you're into wheelies, jumps, or lightweight urban rips, the Mini's got your name on it. If you want something to ride deep trails all day long or tour for 60 miles, maybe not. But if your goal is to show up to the lot and blow people's minds with how quick your little bike is, this is the one. Surron boys won't know what hit them. Number 3 Stage 2 M2, sliding into the number 3 spot, is a bike most people haven't even heard of the Stage 2 square meters. It's not mainstream like Surron. It's not flashy like the eRide Pro. But it's a freaking powerhouse wrapped in stealth mode, right? Out of the box, the Stage 2 square meters throws down a peak of 8,000 watts. That's 8 kilowatt stock. To put that in perspective, that's more juice than a modded Surron with an upgraded controller and battery. And guess what? You don't need to touch a thing. It's already tuned to rip on flat ground. This thing will clock in around 55 miles per hour, and the throttle response is buttery. No jerkiness, no lag, just smooth, confident acceleration that doesn't freak out at the top end. The M2 has this rugged, clean frame design that screams durability. CNC aluminum welds you can trust, and MX-style geometry that gives it a planted, stable feel, especially in corners. This isn't some sketchy AliExpress bike with flashy lights. It's clearly built by people who ride. It comes with a 60V 40Ah battery, which puts it above the Mini and even the Surron Light B. Expect 45 to 50 miles of range if you're mixing it up with trails, and light throttle. Heavy throttle? Still a good 30 plus miles. And you're not sacrificing torque. To get that, what surprised me most is the balance. It's heavier than the Mini, but way more stable. It gives off that big bike feel without being awkward. Think Mini, motocross, but electric, super responsive, but not sketchy at high speeds. This is the bike for people who don't want to be basic. You're not trying to flex a Surron logo, you're flexing pure performance. It's the sleeper pick that feels premium without the premium price tag. Number 2, M-Arter. Alright, we're officially in beast mode territory. Sitting at number 2 is the M-Arter. And I'll be honest, this thing isn't just faster than a Surron, it's on another tier entirely. The EM is a 60V monster, pushing over 10,000 watts peak power. Yeah, you heard that right, 10Q, stock. Straight from the factory, no controller swap, no battery hack, no tuning app needed. Just pure, terrifying acceleration in a factory shell. This thing tops out at around 62 to 65 miles per hour. And the crazy part, it gets there fast, I mean, faster than most people are comfortable admitting. It feels like a scaled down supermoto with electric torque that's instantly on tap. Unlike the sketchy e-moto knockoffs, the EM is dialed. You've got a fully forged aluminum frame, adjustable DVO-style suspension, and Magura-style 4-piston brakes that actually bite. This is the first sub-3K bike I've ridden that doesn't need an upgrade on day one. Here's where it really separates itself. It runs a 60V 45 Samsung cell battery. That's premium grade cells, not the cheap off-brand stuff. Range? Expect 45 to 55 miles riding hard, and even more if you go light on the throttle. Even with all that power and torque, the handling is surprisingly nimble. It rides like a freeride MTB mixed with an electric pit bike, agile enough for trails, planted enough for road. The weight sits low, so even in tight corners, it doesn't fight you. If this bike made your jaw drop like it did mine drop, a like. And if you think this deserves to be number 1 instead, wait until you see what's coming up next. Number 1, E-Ride Pro SR. Alright, you waited long enough. Taking the number 1 spot is none other than the E-Ride Pro SR, and I'll be real with you. This isn't just a faster bike than the Surron. This is what the Surron wishes it could be. And the price? Still under 3K. Let's talk numbers. The E-Ride Pro SR hits a top speed of 65 miles per hour stock. That's right, no mods, no tunes, no battery swap. Just twist the throttle and hold on. It leaves the Surron Light B in the dust, even the modded ones struggle to keep up. And the acceleration? Savage. 0-40 in just a few seconds, and it pulls clean all the way through. Here's where it gets even crazier. It comes with a 60V 45Ah battery using premium Samsung cells that gives you 50 to 60 miles of real-world range, depending on your riding style. And the BMS is smart thermal protection, regen braking. And it even adjusts current under heavy loads to protect your cells. Try finding that in a Surron stock pack, you won't. Let's talk about ride feel. The frame is a CSE machined aluminum beast, stronger and cleaner than the Light B. It has a longer wheelbase for stability at speed, and the geometry feels MX inspired but still nimble in tight corners. Suspension? Fully adjustable front and rear. You can actually tune rebound and preload without needing to dump $1,000 into aftermarket shocks. It's not just about speed, it stops just as well as it goes. The SR comes with 4-piston hydraulic brakes, front and rear. They bite hard and consistently no fade after to laps or a downhill run. The throttle is smooth and progressive. Not twitchy like early Surrons, and the LCD dash is clean, minimal, and gives you live metrics like temp, range, and controller load. The E-Ride Pro SR is what you get when a company actually listens to what riders want: more speed, more range, better suspension, and a clean, aggressive build without needing to dump another $2,000 in upgrades. So, which one would you ride? Would you trade your Surron for one of these? Or mod your Surron to keep up? Drop your pick in the comments, I'll be replying to the comments, and if you want side-by-side race tests, make sure you're subscribed with notifications on. You don't want to miss what's next.